Good morning, YouTube. It's such a marvelous, wonderful day, and I'm here having all kinds of fun this morning because it's such an exciting, enchanting, energetic, and enthusiastic day. The coffee is brewing, and we'll be ready shortly, and I want you all to come by and have a cup. I want all of my exciting, enchanting, energetic, and enthusiastic friends around the world to come by and have a cup of coffee with me this morning so that we can enjoy all of this marvelous, wonderful cheerfulness and happiness of this great and marvelous world of our consciousness that is growing so rapidly. And I can always build a bigger building. I can always build a bigger house if you all don't fit. So come on by and share the good times and the coffee. It's such a marvelous day this morning. I'm so glad to be waking up in such a great world today. And I remind you this morning that this is the spirit of ecstasy, where we cast it out, we throw it aside, we cast out the spirit of lack, we cast out the spirit of poverty, we cast out the spirit of illness, sickness, we cast out the spirit of negativity, and all of those things which interfere with you being prosperous and happy and joyful and on top of things, and being able to express your creativity, to be able to express your artwork, your singing, your writing ability, all those things which interfere with you being able to be plethorous and Niagara-like in it, doing all of those wonderful ways of expression which you want to do today. We cast out everything that interferes with it. This is the spirit of ecstasy, the spirit of enchantment, the spirit of adventure, the spirit of energy and enthusiasm, and the spirit of infinite mind and our divine source, God, our source, our infinite wonderful mind, which connects us to all this universe of power and authority and dominion. And we're here this morning exercising that dominion because we're casting out all sickness, and we're lifting up the spirit of healing, and we're receiving the anointing to heal. We're here saying, I am a great healer. I can heal. I'm not afraid of healing people. I'm not afraid of being healed of any sickness I may ever have. I'm not afraid of receiving all that power and that joy and that authority and dominion that it takes to cast out illness. I'm not afraid of receiving those ideas of abundance. I'm not afraid of getting more money and driving more Rolls Royces and driving more Jaguars and driving more Maseratis and driving more Ferraris and all those marvelous cars which we love to drive and having those wonderful, marvelous vacation trips. I'm not afraid of a private jet. I'm not afraid of cruising around the world in a private jet. I'm not afraid of going on cruises on ships. I'm not afraid of all of the things which we have in our abundance that comes from our wonderful money. And so, let us be lifted up and excited about all of our money and our abundance this morning. Let us be lifted up and excited about all of our dominion this morning. Oh, and I want to remind you that we're totally superior, and we should declare that superiority. We have to declare our superiority to lack of every kind. We are completely superior to anything less than abundant energy. We're completely superior to anything less than radiant health. And I will remind you that radiant health and energy and prosperity and abundance is the natural state of man, and that we were created to be dominant. We were created with dominion. We were created created to be overcomers. We were created to be victorious. We were created to be joy overflowing. We were created to be able to Niagara that healing power and reach out into the world to be able to heal people. We were created for this purpose. We were created with the capacity to receive the anointing to be masters and leaders and people with the spirit of dominion and authority. We were created to be great and masterful healers and great and masterful and abundant people. And so I want you all to join in this morning in celebrating. You know, we're going to celebrate all of that authority and dominion this morning. And I was talking to you yesterday. Oh, yes, Lord. I was bringing all of this out good to you yesterday, wasn't I? Yes, all of that energy and power just flowing. And I was talking to you yesterday about how you go about gaining the spirit of learning and the spirit of ecstasy and the spirit of joy and energy and becoming anointed for leadership, to become anointed to make the change that you may want to make in this world, or whatever that may be. You can receive the anointing for that, for the leadership to do that, and how we can become anointed to be a healer or anointed to rise in our job and profession to a place of leadership. But how, I was telling you, how this anointing comes to us. You know, we want to be anointed with power and strength. And so how does this anointing for energy and greatness come to us? We need to read widely and read wisely. Meditate upon what we read, and then ask all the right questions of infinite mind concerning what we read to get the further understanding of what we're reading and studying. And we need to always remember that as we think about, well, you know, I mean, I don't want to go to the bother or the trouble of reading through books and all to learn, but we need to remember that you just never know what you're going to come across in a book. And I found this out to be true thousands of times. I was surprised at what I found in books as I began to really get into them. And you just never know when the next idea you come across in that reading could be the fulcrum that would catapult you forward in great motivation, energy, and power and ability, and give you the motivation and the creativity that you need and the inspiration that you need to do what you want to do. And so keep searching for it. Keep looking for it. But at the same time, write down questions in your journal and ask it directly, because you can receive the answer directly from infinite mind if you have the correct question written down. You know, the reading and studying, though, helps you to learn what questions that you need to ask. But we need to know that at present we have at most experienced only 1/3 of the actual energy that is available to us. Oh, it's just so marvelous that we haven't used all the potential which we have by any means. And we haven't even received 1/3 of the energy that we can receive, or the 1/3 of the creativity that we can receive. It's all awaiting us. All these opportunities are awaiting us. And know that at present you have used no greater than 2% of your brain capacity. And of course, when the scientists made that statement, they're only considering the organic brain that is underneath our skull. They're not considering the mind that we're one with. They're only considering our organic brain. We haven't developed our organic brain even 2% of the way that is possible. In other words, we haven't made the nervous connections in our brain more than 2% of the possible associations that can be made between the cells and the nerves in our brain. And that's only the organic brain. And then we know that our actual mind is not contained within the skull or the cranium, but our actual mind goes throughout and connected throughout the entire universe with infinite mind and with beings throughout this universe. And so we just have so much capacity and so much opportunity and so much power and energy this morning. And so No wonder I'm here having such great fun, and I may forget about the coffee and not even need it. And if you really listen to what I'm saying, you won't even need the coffee. But come by anyway, and we can enjoy all the fun. So, but we need to know that getting rid of our fears and our superstitions. We have a lot of superstitions that we have been brought up believing in, which interfere with our developing proper interest and proper creativity and proper, people trying to set your IQ for you, or trying to set your ability, or set the avenue what you should go, or what you should be, or what profession you should be in, trying to determine that by some test or something. We need to get rid of all these fears and superstitions about it, and that will increase our interest, our creativity, and increase our IQ by leaps and bounds, and all of our creative power will mushroom when we get rid of all these superstitions and fears that we are limited, that we're limited, or can be limited, or that some test can determine how limited we can be. There's no test that's going to determine how great you can be, or how limitless you can be, or how vast your mind is, because the test doesn't reach into the furthest of the universe, which our infinite mind does. But energy can always be multiplied 1,000-fold. We can get up any day of the week and multiply our energy 1,000-fold just by meditating upon these principles, and getting into touch with our infinite mind, and getting into touch with our real and true dominion. We are actually in complete fellowship and communication with the entire universe. And that's a big place. We only have to recognize this and lift awareness and consciousness to this fact in order to receive all the creativity, energy, power, and inspiration that we could ever use. We could receive all and more than we could ever use in 1 trillion years. But the only thing that can stop our energy, ecstasy, or creativity, or feeling great is the fear. The fear that we are limited. That's the reason why we need to get over that and declare that I am limitless. I have the spirit of dominion. I have the spirit of healing power. I have the spirit of authority. I have the spirit of a magnificent mind. I have the spirit of overwhelming creativity. I have the spirit of multifold, multifaceted, multifarious ability of every kind to do every wonderful and marvelous thing. I have that. It's with me. It's here infinitely with me. All I have to do is draw upon it. I have the marvelous spirit of love, joy, peace, and power operating right now. All I have to do is draw upon it, and it'll come Niagaraing out of me in fountains and fountains of energy. We must not allow anything or any fear to keep us from doing what we want to do then, because we can do it all. The only thing keeping us from doing it is just that we have been trained to fear, and the fear limitation. Been trained to believe in limitation. We must consistently and continually be sending out thoughts and prayers and affirmation of light and love and energy and power. The more you send out these affirmations, the more you send out these affirmations into the world of light and energy and love and power and strength. I send out all power. I send out love. I send out joy. I send out energy. The more you do that, the more of it's going to come back to you. The more of it's going to pull back upon your existence and influence you in an affirmative way. These thoughts are received, that we send out, are received by beings across the universe, and always benefits everyone. Everyone on earth and everyone throughout the universe can be benefited by our thoughts. So our thoughts are important. That's what we're saying. Our thoughts are important. And to think thoughts of dominion and authority and power and strength and affluence is very important then. We are connected to all beings in the universe with multifaceted and powerful energy is right now available to us. And I'll continue this wonderful subject on tomorrow's video.